I'm here at U20 World Championships, and the guy Max who just won a U20 World title. Looked impressive, start to finish. I mean, the whole tournament just looked super tough. Won the gold medal. What did you see from your vantage point?
Yeah, he did have a great tournament. He's just so offensive. I love that he continued to wrestle his style, which is to go out, score points, get after guys, and yeah, we've seen a lot of great things out of him. In all reality, he hasn't wrestled freestyle in that many tournaments, and so just continue to see growth from him as a competitor, and to enjoy being out there on the stage against some great opponents and be able to compete at that level is such a awesome thing. So really proud of him.
What's it like for you as a coach? I know you were in the corner. Kimmer was in the corner, but you're in the stands. What's it like for you as a coach, just watching your guy go through a run like this, win a world title?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great feeling. Like, I watch the way that he trains. Like, really comes down to all this stuff before you get to the tournament, like the way that he, goes through his workouts, the drills and wrestles, and his lifting, his nutrition. All those things are obviously really, really important. But yeah, when you watch the guy drill, I watch, like, here at the World Tournament, like, all these countries are actually watching him, like his pace and his drilling pace and the way that he moves through that. It's just impressive. And so, yeah, he deserved it. And I thought the way that he displayed that type of effort and energy on the mat is why he came out with his hand raised. And yeah, we love seeing it. So being up there, whether you're in the corner or not, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, like, that guy has to go out and compete, right? We tell our guys that all the time. Like, when you're the guy on the mat, like, if it's something we're yelling, we probably didn't do our job. But at the end of the day, we're just here to support him and be along with an amazing young man like him. Is super awesome.
I mean, the gopher room isn't short for guys with international achievements and world titles, Olympic titles, things like that. But for your team, your program, what does it do to have Max come back to that room with the belt around his waist, that gold medal?
Yeah, I mean, it's super important for the other guys in the room right now to see that you can do that there, to train and to achieve that and set the bar. Like, that type of mindset is really important. It also helps in recruiting, as we're going through guys, and recruiting them, say, hey, you can come here and why not? You can be like Gable, win an Olympic gold, or you can be like Max and win world titles. And so, yeah, all those things are really obviously important. And this, for a guy like Max, this is a small step for him. Like, obviously his goal is continue to win an NCAA title and make the senior level team and stuff like that. But this is part of the process. Having success at this level, like, continues to help a guy that believes in himself, like Max obviously does. But to have these small steps along the path is, I think, important to get there. Is to see yourself on that path as an individual is important.
What do you think he needs to focus on, or how does he continue to make those gains, right? You mentioned NCAAs, that's another goal for him. I'm sure he's got some other goals on the international circuit in front of him too, but what does he need to do to progress and ultimately achieve those goals?
Just continue to continue to develop as an individual. A lot of people, maybe they do or don't know, like, Max played football like his entire life. Like, half the year he was playing football. Like, he didn't wrestle very much throughout high school, and so I still believe his ceiling's really high. And like, even his redshirt year with us, like, watching the growth that he made on the mat on top and bottom was. So I think in all areas he just has to continue to grow and build. And like in the freestyle situation here, like, we were talking a lot of the future. Like, he scores so many takedowns. A lot of times he has guys' legs twisted up and wrapped up. Like, he's got to think about transitioning to laces and stuff like that, because sometimes it might be just one takedown and you finish a match off versus having to do it 5 times. And so there's just so many areas. But he has a great mindset. I know he's not content. This is something that we talked about. Like, this is exciting, but there's bigger and better in the future. And so go out and compete and leave it on the mat. And I think he did it. He did that each time that he stepped out there. That was awesome.
What do you think about this team? I mean, there's this group of 10 guys that went out there and probably the best team they've ever put together from a U20 standpoint.
Yeah, it was. I know everyone's been talking about that, kind of leading up to it, and yeah, I was really impressed. You don't get a chance to sit in the corner, obviously, with all these guys, but I got a chance to watch the guys work out and train and drill and compete, and just very impressed with these young men. I know we fell short in a couple areas, but at the same time, it would be nothing to redo this tournament and for those guys to be in that finals match as well. And so, yeah, just impressive young man. And it's exciting to see USA moving on this path here of being a dominant force in wrestling. Like, these young guys are really taking it to the rest of the world. And so future looks good here for USA Wrestling. And yeah, we're excited the Gophers are part of that too.
What do you take away from a trip like this as a coach? Not with your athletes specifically, but just you being around other elite minds of the sport, international and our top guys in the U.S. as well as those top athletes, trainers, everyone, right? What do you take away from trips like this?
Yeah, I mean, I try to look at like some of the ways the other coaches are interacting with their guys and some of the training things they're doing, and we get a chance to sit down and talk with them and pick their brains a little bit on some of the things that they're doing, and so that's important. You know, I try to learn a little something every trip I go on, and to be around some of these guys, not just the coaches but the athletes, and to kind of see the way that they're training and the way they're carrying themselves. Like, that's always an opportunity to learn.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Coach. Appreciate you.
Yeah, awesome.